Welcome back. What we're going to tie today, this is my shark weenie. It's one of the most disputed flies on planet Earth. Some people say it's a fly, some people say it's not. I say that if I'm throwing it on my fly rod and I'm putting it in my fly time vise, it makes it a fly. So I am on the it's a fly. Accept it, reject it, whatever you want. It's up to you. To all my friends who have ever been on the river and been skunked out, but I'm still taking fish on those hard days, surprise, this is what I'm taking them on. I don't tie this fly for customers, so I add to and take away as I see fit as far as the pattern. And it's going to hurt some feelings, but it takes fish. So that's what we're at. At the end of the day, we're about taking fish. The hook that we're tying on today, this is a Mustad R74 9672. It is 2X hard, 4X long, and a size 10. The bead that we're using today, this is a brass bead in white. It's a 532 or a 4 mil for you cats over in the UK. I know a bunch of you guys over in Euroland watch this stuff. I really appreciate it. The flash, this is not part of the original fly. This is something I add to it. We're using chartreuse crinkle flash. And for the part that a lot of people say makes this not a fly, we have chartreuse mop fiber. Yes, we are doing a mop fly. I said I would never put a mop fly up here on our channel, but somebody asked me to see a mop fly, so this is my mop fly that I use primarily. I don't tie it in any other colors. I only tie it in chartreuse, and that's what we use. We'll be putting a collar of chartreuse seal around the tip. So what we're going to do, we're going to come in, we're going to start about the hook point. We're going to take a couple of quick turns, get our thread locked in. This is like one of the differences that I put in this fly. Nothing magical. I'm going to come in with a couple. I got 4 here, so it'll end up being 8. I'm going to measure that out. It's going to be about the hook gap. That way it's just a little bit short of the end of the tail. I'm going to catch that in with a pinch and loop. 3, keep it right on the top. Keeping pressure on the flash. I'm going to fold it back over itself one time. And as you can see, we're still on top of the hook. We're going to come in and clean those out even. That's one of those extra steps that you don't have to do if you want to skip it and knock yourself out. Then we're going to advance our thread to the front. There's not a whole lot to this fly. I'm going to take a couple quick turns up against that bead. If you pull toward the front of this bead going that way and make your wraps, it'll fill that bead cone up because it's shaped like a triangle on the inside, and it'll keep it from moving around too much. But once we get a few turns in there, we're going to back it off about the thickness of the bead, or 4 mil. See right there? It's the same thickness as my bead. And that's where we're going to tie our mop fiber in. This is kind of like a chenille, okay? It's got a closed off end, but if you grab on the open end, it just falls apart, as you can see. So that's what that extra thickness is for the collar. So it doesn't have that solid core in the middle. So we're going to come in, pinch that in right on the top, pinch and loop, and then we're going to chase that down with our thumb and finger into the cone. Now that bead is not going to move. It's not going to spin or do anything. We're going to come back a couple turns, not too many, just enough to lock it in. Now you can catch this in on the back with your thread and wrap through it and take your time, but I've never tied these for customers, ever. These are something that I've fished for years, and I only put them in my box. Nobody's ever said, hey, can you send me a mop fly? I mean, if they did, I would do it, but I would still take the same steps. You can tie this in and wind through it and wrap it in, but this fly is designed for one thing for me. It's going to take a maximum of 5 fish, and then I'm going to remove it, put it in my box, and tie the next one on. And for that reason, we can come in with our super glue, put a nice bead down. We're going to switch over, pull, push down even pressure both sides, and that's going to let that super glue just set into those fibers and just maintain that nice uniform body. This flash is an extra step, and what I'm about to do is an extra step. You don't have to do this part The regular one, I have tied these two. Instead of tying in the seal fur in the front, you come in with a piece of hackle. This is rooster in ginger. Yeah, it's ginger. And I'm gonna take it out of the sweet spot depending on how big the gap is. And just a couple sparse wraps through, works fine. But what I like to do is create a dubbing loop and use seal fur. It's gonna encase that and it's gonna give a little extra shimmer in the water. You don't have to do this. Like I said, this is my short weenie. This is the way I tie it, this is the way I fish it. And I'll probably lose subscribers over this fly because somebody's gonna go, "That's not a real fly." But guess what? It is. And now that I've got friends that I've fished with, y'all know who you are. I'm not gonna put no names out there, but you guys remember those days when it's hot and low water and I'm still taking fish and y'all wondering what the hell's going on? This is it right here. This is my secret weapon. A lot of people use this as a secret weapon because nobody wants to fish it. And that's y'all's fault. I'm gonna come in with my seal. I'm gonna clamp that in. I'm gonna try to keep that kind of even with a taper toward the front of my noodle. I'm gonna come in with my dubbing twister. I'm gonna catch this bad boy in. You don't need a whole lot. It don't take a whole lot of dubbing for this. Hopefully you guys tie these up and put them in your box. If you're one of those diehard guys that are only interested in throwing the meat or dry fly only, you're probably not gonna fish this. And you're gonna have those days where you don't take any fish. But if you got these, secret weapon, tie them in any color. Now that we've got our noodle wrapped up, we're gonna take touch and turns toward the front. We're gonna pull all the fibers to the rear as we go, building a nice collar. Nice thick collar. This is gonna encase the body. Give it a little extra shimmer underwater. I don't think this really imitates anything in the wild. It does imitate me taking fish and putting them in my net and showing pictures to my buddies going, "Why didn't y'all catch anything?" It's up to y'all. Y'all can fish this, you don't fish this, it don't matter to me. I'm gonna keep fishing it just because it takes fish. At the end of the day, that's what we care about, right? Taking fish. Take a couple turns in the front. I'm gonna come in half hitch it a couple times. Don't matter if it's 10 or 50, we're gonna come in, we're gonna put some head cement on it anyway, so it don't really matter. I recommend you guys tie some of these though. If you've got friends that don't watch the channel, I recommend you tie some of these and don't tell them. Put them in your box and fish them anyway. And then on those hard to catch days, you throw one of these bad boys on. Can't go wrong with green or chartreuse. That's the only reason I fish the chartreuse. It works for no reason. It's super effective. I don't get it. You know, I'm not an entomologist or anything like that, but if it catches fish, I'm gonna put it in my box. There are tying groups that are solely dedicated to this fly pattern. Mine's not one of them. And like I said, I would never put this up. I wouldn't put it up just for the fact of it takes fish and I don't want nobody to know my secrets, right? But that is it. That's my shark weenie. I hope you guys enjoy it. Tie it up, put it in your box, show it to your friends. Don't show it to your friends until after a couple years. Dennis Brewer knows what I'm talking about. Like, share, and subscribe. Turn on your bell icon if you are subscribed. That way you get notifications when we upload new content. Go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Join our Facebook page over there. It's Splash Chalk Flies. It's all things fly fishing. If you've got fly fishing related to anything or hunting anything, you just throw it on there and it'll get approved to be viewed. You got to advertise a business, go let us know over there. Hope you guys enjoy this fly. And until next time, you guys keep tying. Hope everybody stays safe out there. Stay away from those chrono zombies. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're going to do we got some time off coming up, so we're going to do a bunch of tying. Hope you guys enjoy the fly.